We are live at Garnet and Gold. Welcome back to Double Fries No Slaw. I am joined by Kaley Mudge and Sherrill of FSU Softball. And I think this is our first, you guys should feel honored. This is our first on-site podcast that we've ever done. So Richie didn't come this weekend, so he doesn't get to be part of it. But thank you both for sitting down for a few minutes and chatting today. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having us. This is really cool.
Awesome. We'll try and be quick. We know you guys have a game tonight, but we're out at Garnet and Gold. We're at the Governor Square location. We want to talk with you off to the side over here are the new shirts, the new NIL-oriented softball shirts that have you guys' names on them. Really, really cool. I was just commenting to you guys that it's really neat that they even come in little kid sizes. I'm going to get one of each for my daughter and take them home this weekend. But let's start there. Let's start with the Garnet and Gold shirts. NIL legislation wasn't even passed a year ago, right? It was July of last year. Did you think, Sydney, 9 months ago that you were going to have an NIL shirt with your name on the back of it and Seminoles on the front and everything else? How cool has this been?
Yeah, it's been so cool. Definitely did not think it would take off like it has. And I think the season we had has definitely been awesome and helped that in a lot of ways. And so super excited to continue it for my last season and been able to, kind of profit off my NIL. So I'm thankful for it. And I know Mudge is going to get a lot of use out of it in her next years here. So she's definitely lucky. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, really cool. How many people, Kaley, have already hit you up and said, we want to order these or please get these for me? I mean, you're up in here in Tallahassee. I know home is a little farther south, but how neat has it been?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I've had a bunch of people from home text me and ask for jerseys. My best friend was actually the first sale. She literally jumped on it the second that I sent the link to her. So it's been really cool to see everybody just be so supportive of it because I wasn't really sure if it was going to be super popular or not. And just to see how much it's blown up in the few days has just been amazing to see.
Yeah, I was super excited when I saw Garnet and Gold make the announcement. You guys tweet the announcement. NIL is very cool, and I'm glad that it's benefiting a lot of people. But it is really cool when FSU-owned businesses and Knoll-owned businesses and local business has been supportive. And I'm glad that, some of our favorite athletes on campus are the ones that are getting to benefit from that. So it is really, really cool. You guys can go, if you're watching this, if you're listening to it later, you can go to garnetandgold.com. It's right there on the homepage, but you can literally just Google or search softball. You can find both of their shirts. Really, really cool stuff. Like I said, I'm going home with some swag bags for my daughter and really excited about it for sure. All right, on the field a little bit. We'll start with you, Sydney. Big week, 4 ranked. I don't remember, outside of maybe playing in Clearwater, a week this far in the season where you have 4 massive matchups all throughout the week. And I know we've got a game in a couple of hours, and the rule is probably you're already supposed to be moved on from it. But when the ball left your bat Wednesday night, maybe even let's back up. Did you know when you took that swing that if you made contact, what goes through your mind there? Were you sitting on that pitch? Obviously, talking about the game at Florida, 10th inning home run that put us up for the first time of the night. Just walk us through the at bat, walk us through the hit, and we'll move on to Virginia Tech after we talk about it a little bit.
I mean, I'll take it back a little further. In the second inning, I actually made an error that ended up being a run scored for Florida. So I kind of knew that I was going to get a moment later in the game to change the game or help the team get that run back. And so definitely was in the back of my head all game. And my third at bat, I was sitting change up and I actually got a change up and I had just missed it and hit a pop fly to center field. And I was pretty bummed and definitely disappointed because I knew that was probably the only pitch I was going to get to change the game. And didn't happen for me. So once we got into late extras and the team kind of stuck with it, Kat came in and ended up finishing out a great game. I knew that once I got another at bat, I was definitely got to stick to my plan. And if I got to change up again, it was over for them. And it was over for them. So, I'm super excited to do that for the team. And then we ended up scoring another one after that. So it was a great game, great matchup against Florida. We're going to face them again later in the season. And, looking obviously forward to this weekend. But I was in an incredible game. Definitely dream for moments like that. So,
yeah. You mentioned, the error earlier in the game and then, being able to make up for it. The other play that kind of made up for it was the double play, which got a lot of I don't know how many times in softball, which is obviously only 60 feet between bases, but where a runner is going and they still get thrown out of a double play. Obviously, the relay was barely in time. Great play at first base.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat too.
Yeah, double plays are like pretty few and far between in softball because of the speed and the distance between the bases. But we practice it a lot, and we definitely hone in on those skills that it takes to make those happen. So when it does happen, I get pretty hyped up about it because that's 2 outs is huge, and definitely paid off for us in the end. So yeah, it was a great play. Awesome to be a part of it.
Yeah, cool. So you beat Florida, obviously super exciting, and then no layoff, which in the ACC, like there's a lot of good teams, and you don't want to take anybody lightly, but you literally get the team that's leading the ACC. Kaley, how do you? I mean, fortunately, there's a couple of day layoff right between the games, but how do you get back down from the high of that game and then get ready and focused for this weekend's matchups against Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I think just to be back home again has probably hyped us up a lot. We haven't been home in 3 weeks. So to be able to play the top 5 matchup in the ACC, I think it's the first time in ACC history. So just to come off of that wave from Florida and almost bring that energy into Virginia Tech. We know that we're going to face some really good pitching and some really good hitters, and just to kind of ride that wave and stay present in the moment because it's going to be a really good 3-game series. So yeah, we're very excited.
Should be a ton of fun. Like you said, there's so much excitement around not only our softball team, but women's athletics in general. And then there's more exposure when you do have these massive matchups. Like you guys played on the SEC network the other night. We've got the highest ranked matchup in ACC history coming up. I think I've talked about it with both of you on here before, but I want to ask it because I love hearing you guys talk about it, but just the impact of how people are viewing women's athletics and the positive momentum that's there. Just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think especially for softball, and growing up, I had to wait till May to watch any softball on ESPN because it was never broadcasted. The only broadcast it really was on was like an ESPN3 camera. So to be on ACC Network and SEC Network and play on these big channels in February from Clearwater and even now throughout the season has been awesome. Just to see the movement of women's athletics the past year, 2 years. I know that the people before us have paved the way, but to see just the women's basketball tournament blow up and softball blowing up, it's just really fun to see, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'll take it back to the game the other night, but we won't talk about the game. But a cool moment that they showed on the TV. I actually saw this when I was walking into the stadium. But a little girl had a sign that was like, basically for my birthday, I want to come to this game, and then I want to take a picture with Sydney. And I was like, man, I hope they see that. If not, I'm going to text Brett and make sure that gets seen because that was so cool. But I've talked about that. Just I'm excited about getting some shirts that have you guys' names on them and taking them to my daughter. And I love seeing everywhere you guys go, whether it's the series last weekend in Virginia or you go to Gainesville, which obviously is closer, so maybe that would make sense. But everywhere you guys go, people just flock to you. They want pictures. They want to see you guys. And you guys just seem so gracious. And, I love that you're always kind of there to do that or to make somebody's birthday or whatever. Do you feel like it's a lot? So I'll take that to this. Do you feel like it's a lot of responsibility? Like you're some of these little girls' heroes. And like, I don't know if you realize that or if that like gets put into perspective, but is that a lot of pressure? Is that just neat? Like, what do you think about that?
I definitely just think it's so cool that, little girls look up to us the way they do. I think just like the sport of softball and the growth of it, starting out, like we play it because we love the game. We don't play it because we're going to get $1 million draft signing bonus. Like we play it because we absolutely love the game. And so we know like little girls love the game too, and they love the way we play. So just being a role model and, I think about like moments like making that air and stuff, like my head literally goes to moments like that of girls in the stands that they just want a picture with you, whether you strike out, make an error, whatever, like they just want to be us. And so trying to keep that, positive mindset and just having fun playing it's what really helps me throughout games like that and tough games, strikeout games when, you're not doing your best. Little girls just want to be you no matter what. And so just being inspiring to them and, trying to put on a good face for them it's always something that is in the back of my head, and I just like love doing it. And it's definitely never feels like it's a like responsibility, like I'm doing something out of my way. It's awesome to do it. We really like make those girls' days.
Yeah.
And Virginia, I think we've sold out like every away game we've played, and sometimes we have more fans than their fans, which is like awesome. And it's so cool just to see like the love throughout the country that Florida State has, pushed upon. So it's super cool. I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I'll let you speak to that a little bit too. I kind of want to get your take. I know it'll probably be a lot of what she said too, but just when you get those requests or people, can I please take a picture, and what that means to you.
Yeah, it definitely means the world. I mean, growing up watching softball, I watched so many bigs that have just made it to the pros and moved on from softball, and like just to kind of make it a full circle moment to see these girls like looking up to me is just really full circle. Sometimes I have to pinch myself because it's like I can't, like I was in their shoes 10, 12 years ago, and just to be on the roles reverse side is super cool. And Kaley Harding actually said this in our meeting a couple of days ago. She was like, it doesn't matter if you go over 4 for 4, make any errors. Like they just want to be you. Like what Sid said, they just love you and love to watch you play. They're not going to like not ask for your autograph if you have a bad game. They just adore seeing us out on the field, and just to see that love for the game is super cool because it doesn't really matter about our success. They just love us as people and just love watching the game of softball. So
yeah, it kind of puts things into perspective. I kind of look up to you guys just in that respect because you guys are people that I want my daughter to, I want her to play D1 softball too, but you guys are people that I want my daughter to, pattern the way that she carries herself after. And as fans or media or whatever, we get so wrapped up in the result, and I'm sure you guys, right? Like you want to go 3-0 this weekend, right? Like that's really the only option, right? So
it is. It absolutely is.
But I brought my daughter up to a basketball game this year, and we ended up losing by quite a bit, and she had no clue, right? Like she's 3. She clapped every time anyone scored. I'm like, you're but you're having a good time. It's like whatever. And I was like, did you have a good time, babe? And she was like, I got popcorn. I had a great time, And so. But then that's their shoes too, right? Like they're not watching, oh my gosh, Sydney made an error, or Kaley, this ball went over her head, or this happened or that happened. They're just, there because they love it. And so that's truly awesome to hear. Players Weekend this weekend. This is a fun one.
Yeah.
You guys are wearing some different jerseys. They've been all over social media. We're not breaking any news here, but talk to us about the message that's on the back of each of your jerseys. I'll start with you and then go to Sydney, but talk to us about Players Weekend, what it means, and then just what you selected for your jersey.
Yeah, so Players Weekend is something that the MLB does, and I think it's really cool that us as a college softball program has kind of bought into it. We started it last year, and we're able to put a funny nickname or a cause or our hometown, just something on the back of our jersey that is about us, and we kind of get to show the world a little bit of a personal side of us. So the back of my jersey this year is Buck Strong. My friend Alexis Buckman, she plays for USF softball, and this fall she was diagnosed with brain cancer. So she's not able to play softball anymore, and I just kind of wanted to take this game to just kind of be in her shoes. And, she would love to step out on the field. She would love to get a ground ball. She'd love to get in that bat, and just kind of puts everything into perspective for me. And I know she said she was going to be watching this weekend, and I'm going to probably send her the jersey after this weekend.
That's awesome.
Kind of puts everything into perspective for me and reminds me like I just get the wonderful opportunity to play this game, and it can be taken in the blink of an eye. So I just want to make the most of it while I can and make the most of it for her this weekend. So.
That's really cool. Awesome. Sydney, what about you? What's your?
Yeah, so mine says Oklahoma, and it said the same thing last year. It's where I'm from. Very proud to be from there. It's where all my family is, and definitely miss a lot of them. And then it's where I want to end up at the end of the season in Oklahoma. So kind of just like both a dream and then where I come from. So this fits me. I really, really want to make it back to Oklahoma City in my last season. So it's cool to be able to represent something that you respect or where you're from, or like Mudge, put something into perspective for you. And then some people, it's just like a funny nickname. So it's kind of just a cool way to like showcase yourself and like something you're passionate about, or if you're goofy, you're goofy. If it means something to you, it means something to you. It's just cool to be able to represent something bigger than just maybe our last name on the back of our jersey. So
yeah. I like that. I like that your personality gets shown. I think that's one of the coolest things that we've been able to do with our podcast and platform is really kind of get to know you guys, whether it's you talking about them putting you on the burrito border or just whatever we're talking about. Like we see on the field, and that's awesome. All right. Like that's what we're here for, but it's really cool to kind of get you to know you guys is better as well. And so that's really cool that, FSU softball gives you guys the opportunity. I'm probably going to start lobbying, and we're like, 365 days out. So I'm going to try and find somebody to put double fries on the back next year.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Start lobbying for it. Okay, we'll wrap up. I wanted to talk with you really quickly and get both of your perspective, but you said something about making it back to Oklahoma. Obviously, everyone's very familiar with the run that we went on last year. How do you stay focused and in the moment over these last couple of weeks until postseason begins, and not just think about postseason? Like, how do you stay kind of focused and in the moment? Because obviously we know what the goal is.
Yeah, we're still, it's not early, but we still have we play Virginia Tech 3 times this weekend, and then we'll go away and play more really good teams, and those are just opportunities for us to grow as a team and learn. Whether we win, whether we lose, just take those moments that we've been in and learn from them and grow. So still have a lot of the game left, I would like to say, for season left, and to become the team we want to become. I think we've been hitting a pretty good stride, and just to keep that same energy, same offense, defense, pitching wise, just to keep all that same things up basically throughout the rest of the season, and then it'll just follow us right into postseason. But we definitely have a lot of games left and a lot of time to figure out who we are and what our go-tos are. If we do, seem to fall in some slumps here and there, like how can we win these games? This weekend is telling for us for sure. So definitely taking it one game at a time. Can drop any game, but this weekend's huge for us. So this will give us a big tell for ACCs too of the championship and how it's going to be set up and everything like that. So big weekend, focused on it now, and then we'll look past that after. But yeah.
I'm sure you'd echo a lot of what she said there, so I won't make you repeat everything. But is there anything you're trying to focus on specifically for yourself over these last few weeks as we kind of get closer to the postseason?
Yeah, I think just remembering there's a lot more work to do. Like Sid said, we still have a lot of games left, and we're about to go on a big stretch here playing Virginia Tech this weekend, and then UNC and Clemson and OSU. And it's definitely going to be a lot of challenges for us, but I think it's going to put us in a good spot for postseason. So I think just putting our head down, focusing on the work, not getting too ahead of ourselves. Obviously, this weekend is big, and we'd like to come out on top to put us in a good spot for the ACC tournament. But either way, I think we're going to learn a lot of lessons about ourselves and be able to take the challenge into the postseason. So.
Yeah, you guys seem to have a knack for, even when things don't go well, bouncing back. We we never led on Wednesday night, right, until the 10th inning. Down most of the game against Alabama, right? Took a walk-off against UCLA, and even going back to last year, I know this is a new team, but losing the ACCs and then going on the run we went. So I like the way you said that. Now I'd rather learn those lessons going 3-0 this weekend.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Yeah,
but you guys do a great job, and I'd imagine that speaks a lot to the coaching of learning those lessons when they need to be learned, right? Learning those lessons through, again, hopefully good times, but even when they are bad times, being able to turn things around. And that's a hats off to Coach and the staff, because it's been something that's been pretty impressive, is seeing you guys bounce back. Obviously, can't go to Oklahoma City without dropping the first one and then winning everything else past that. But we really like to pressure, put all the pressure on ourselves. But Sydney, Kaley, thank you guys so much. Again, out at Garnet and Gold here on Governor Square, you can get the NIL Seminole softball shirts with Kaley and Sydney's names, autographs, the numbers on the different shirts. There's a Garnet and Gold one. Check them out, garnetandgold.com. Really appreciate you guys for doing this. Good luck tonight. I'll be out there for it. So let's go 3-0 this weekend.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll recap the softball weekend. We'll recap the spring game. Thank you guys for hanging out. Until next time, go Noles.
Go Noles.